Hey folks, Reviewing McReviewface coming back at you, and you may have noticed I got a bit of an unruly stash. I need to do something about it. So yes, I have grown my mustache out a little bit. This is a remnant of my Weird Al costume, and I've kind of just liked having it there, so I thought I'd keep it around for a little while. But I've noticed it's gotten a little unruly. The hair doesn't really want to stay where I want it to stay. It kind of, I've got a couple of pieces that just shoot straight up here and over here, some that curl, some curl inside. It's kind of a mess. One of these things, guys, you may know what I'm talking about here, is if you kind of look down the end of your nose and stick your lip up like that, you can kind of gauge how bad your mustache is behaving, right? So I look right now, well, I got things shooting out here and coming around there. It's an absolute nightmare. What's a guy to do? Well, I took some suggestions from Twitter and I said, what's the best mustache wax I can find? And I'm here to show you what I found today. So it's just in my lovely grooming kit here. We'll pull that out. And what we have today is the Mammoth Beard Company Mustache Wax, and this is the Tobacco and Rosewood. Now I believe this was around $15 for the 1 ounce. But 1 ounce is going to last you a long time. You're not going to go through this in a hurry, no matter how big your mustache and beard. So just put all of this away. Now this mustache wax is one of their lighter types of wax. They have different strengths for different amounts of hold. I'm looking for something just to tame my crazy mustache. I'm not looking to put fancy curls in it or anything like that. Some guys can pull that off. Not this guy. I just want something a little tamer. So I'm just going to give you my quick review on this, as well as just give you some tips. If you've never used mustache wax before, it's kind of that old-timey guy thing, right? Like guys from the 40s, hey, let's put some mustache wax in before we go hit on the dames, you know, but no. So I'll just give you a couple of tips from what I've picked up. I'm no expert. If you've got better tips, leave them in the comments down below. So first things first, I'll give it a smell. And it's a very nice smell. That tobacco and rosewood is not overpowering, but it has a nice manly smell. And that's important. You want something, it's going to be under your nose all day long. The last thing you want is something that you find perfumey and strong and irritating, because that's just going to bother you all day long. Your lunch is going to taste like your mustache wax. It's going to be awful. So find something that you enjoy. For me personally, I quite enjoy the scent of this one. Now what we're looking to do is you don't need much. You know, you don't need a blob of this stuff. So you're just taking the back of your thumbnail and just scraping it along the top of the wax here. And because I don't have a huge mustache, I don't need a ton of wax, so we're looking about the size of half of a pea. All right, not a ton. And then just massaging that between your fingers, warming it up. The last thing you want to do is just put cold wax in your mustache, and then it looks like you just got these clumps of wax in there. Kind of looks like you blew your nose without looking for a handkerchief, if you know what I'm talking about. Not the art of manliness at all right there, no. So we're just going to warm that up between the fingers. The other tip that I got was if you need to just get some clumps out of your mustache, is to borrow a hairdryer. Now obviously you're saying, Reviewee, what are the chances you have a hairdryer? And I will tell you, very slim. But my wife has a hairdryer, so I have borrowed that before. Just put it on a low heat setting and just kind of aim that at your upper lip, and that will help to melt away that wax. Again, I'm a beginner to all of this. If you are in the Calgary area, I got my mustache wax and my mustache comb from Kent of Inglewood. They are a great resource for anything mustache or beard related. They have all kinds of products in there, so I highly recommend going to check them out. They are, of course, in Inglewood, which is why they're called Kent of Inglewood. So we've got that nice and softened up between the fingers, and then just going to grab my mirror here so that I can see what I'm doing while you're watching me on the camera. We've got that nice and softened between the fingers, so now I'm just going to work it into the mustache, right? So just kind of smear that all in like that. Now, depending on how the hair lies on your upper lip, depends on how you're going to style this, right? If you are one of those folks who kind of likes it to kind of swoop out, kind of that Errol Flynn look.
Well, Mr. Flynn seems to be making eyes at someone.
Kind of that 40s look, right? The smooth waxed look like that, it's absolutely an option here. For me, it's not my favorite look. What I prefer to do is have it just kind of hanging straight down, because I find it clumps up the hair a little bit and it doesn't look quite natural to me. That's just my personal preference. Nice thing is, whatever you want to do, you do. All I'm doing here is I'm just trying to get enough on all of those upper hairs that get out of control to kind of keep them down. There we go. And then just give it a quick comb through with my comb. Again, if you want it shaped, you can use your fingers to shape it to the sides if that's more your style. Again, for me, I'm just looking to have it nicely down. If you've never done mustache wax before, it's going to make your mustache feel kind of wet and heavy. It takes a little getting used to, but I find after a while you forget it's there. All right, so then I'm just going to give it a quick look just to make sure we've got most of our flyaways all trimmed up. Looking good. So again, we do the look down the nose test. Pop that lip out. All right. And it looks a lot smoother than that before photo. Gives you a little bit more control. Just makes you look a little more polished, which isn't a bad thing now, is it? So, again, you're in the Calgary area. I would highly recommend the Mammoth Beard Company's mustache wax, the tobacco and rosewood. Their lighter hold for me works great. For you, you may want to play around and see what works best for you and your stash. But hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you my review. I'm Reviewy McReviewface. This is Reviewy McReviewface's mustache, and we'll both see you next review.